Good evening. I'm here with my 1997 Honda Civic with a manual transmission in it, and I'm going to change the transmission fluid because I don't know. I've only had the car for about a year now, and I don't know if it's been changed before or not, and so it'd probably be a good idea to go ahead and do that just to make sure it hasn't been like, I don't know, 100,000 miles or something. So the first thing that we're going to do is get the car up off of the ground so that I can fit underneath it because I'm not skinny enough. So we'll do that first. So I don't exactly have the most sophisticated tools for elevating my car off the ground. It's a little redneck, but that's all we need is to get up far enough so I can fit under there. So I just have a set of ramps here, and according to the Honda service manual, you're supposed to get the car relatively level when you do this so that the oil drains out properly. And so in the back here I have suspended the vehicle with a floor jack in a very, I'm sure this is definitely an approved method of suspending it, and very official. So it is suspended and at least somewhat level. So we are ready to go ahead and drain the fluid. Now the one thing before you go ahead and drain the fluid out of your transmission that you should probably have is a couple quarts of transmission fluid. It's very handy stuff, especially once you've drained it out. It's kind of a necessary thing. So here we have a Honda genuine manual transmission fluid, and I've heard people say you can put other types of oil and stuff in your transmission, but really it's not that expensive to get the genuine stuff, and transmissions are really expensive, so I'd rather just put what was designed to go in there. Here in the official manual it talks about putting the correct oil in. Here we go. Always use genuine Honda manual transmission fluid. Using motor oil can cause stiffer shifting because it does not contain the proper additives. So for what it's worth, I did purchase the genuine Honda stuff. So we've got that ready to go. So without further ado, let's drain the oil. But right here is where we pull this plug out in order to drain the oil. So we're going to do that. And all this is a 3/8 or something. Let me see, where's my wrench ready to go? This thing right here is just a regular 3/8 ratchet, and that'll pop right in there. Or theoretically. There we go. We're set to loosen this. Here we go. Get there, pull. There we go. There she broke loose. Alright. Ooh, it's starting to rip already here. So we gotta get our bucket. That's a little bit. There we go. Okay, so underneath the car right here, I guess this would be the front right side of the car. As you, if you're sitting in the vehicle, oil has pretty much finished draining out here. So I think we are ready to go ahead and put our plug back in. I already have the filler plug taken out up there. Then go ahead and install this oil plug here. So that just threads in there. And if you are so privileged, or if you were more diligent than I was, you can get new crush washers to go in here. There we go. That's tight enough. You don't need to tighten it any more than that. Just kidding. Okay. So as you can see, this oil filler plug here is right on the side of this transmission, and so it's not very convenient for adding oil. And so the way you add oil, you add it into that side hole until oil starts to run out. So right here, this is a side picture, that's our proper level of oil. And so as you can see, we just add oil back into the transmission until oil starts to flow out and out across that lip there. So in order to do that, I've created a little tool here with a copper fitting, a piece of vinyl tubing, and a funnel. And so the funnel just kind of fits onto this pipe here, friction fits, and I put a little hose clamp at the base here for this for the pipe. And we're going to just attempt to hook this right in the side, going into that plug, or that filler, that oil filler plug. So we're going to do that now and see if this will work. Now I have to say that I cannot take credit for this design, as I did see it from Eric the Car Guy on YouTube. He is awesome. Okay, so we can see right down there, we've got our filler plug, and so we're going to see if we can get this to weasel in there. Let's see if I can still get it. Okay, there we go. Kind of popped in there. Alright, there we go. So that is nice and hooked into the side of that thing now. And now we have our funnel up here. And we should be able to add oil and until oil runs out of that thing. And it runs out of the side of the transmission there. So we're going to get our transmission fluid here. This is multitasking at its best here. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to tip the oil into the thing without spilling it, for the most part, and we'll go kind of nice and slow here. And I'm watching down below to make sure that it's not dripping out before it should. It should take about 1.8 quarts, and so I've got 2 quarts. And we almost got the first quart added. I have our genuine Honda fluid here. This is much clearer than the stuff that was in there before. I put it in a white pail so that we could take a look at the difference between the old stuff and the new stuff. I'll try to get a different angle on it. When I dump the second one in here, I'll try to get a better get a view from down below so you can see what it's like when it starts to run out. Alright. So I got some really good shots from down below so you could see the oil running back out of the oil filler plug and everything. But in the middle of videoing that, my phone decided to die despite being plugged into a portable battery charger thingy. I've got it charging right now while I've been videoing, but apparently it still wasn't enough to keep up. And so I lost that video footage, and so you weren't able to see that. Nor were you able to see that I actually did tighten the plugs back up. So on those, you can either go by the manual, which says you should tighten it to a certain torque specification, so many foot-pounds, and you can see that in the shot of the Honda service manual. It's listed in there how tight they want you to get it exactly. Or you can just do it a little redneck and just give it a good tug and just get it nice and tight, just enough so that it can deform that crush washer. It's actually, the washer actually deforms in order to make a quality seal when you tighten that. So just tighten it just enough so that it gets that a little bit, crushes that just a little tiny bit, and you don't want to tighten it so much that it mushrooms out or anything like that. So, and the best thing to do is to get new ones. I didn't get new ones, it'll be fine. But best practice is to put new ones in, and that oil filler plug is a 17 millimeter, and then the lower one was just that 3/8 ratchet. So just wanted to put that little note in here so that you don't think I just didn't tighten it up or something. So that was why I wasn't able to show you that awesome angle from down below. So there you have it. We got fresh oil in the 1997 Honda Civic manual transmission, and I just want to show you here. Here is the old oil, and I put it in this white bucket so we could try to see what its condition is like as far as its color. And so you can see that it is pretty dark, but before, it's kind of an unfair comparison, so I put a little bit back in this bottle, the old stuff, so that hopefully we can kind of see what it looks like as we dump it out here. See if I can get it focused here. So there we go, we're just going to drizzle it out. You can see how dark of a color it is compared to the stuff that we were adding earlier. So it definitely needed to be changed. So not really sure how many miles this had on it, but definitely was a good plan to go ahead and change it. So we just take her down off the stands here now, and we'll be set to go.